Hey guys, King of Trimanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the best Nergigante weapons guide, all weapon types, and the new dragon meta. This video analyzes the weapons of the featured Elder Dragon of the Monster Hunter Now Carnival. The Nergigante weapons are dragon elemental weapons, and in fact they are so powerful that they are the new dragon meta. First we're going to start off with the list of Nergigante weapons. For the sword and shield you have the Eradication Vanguard. For the greatsword, you have Purgation's Atrocity. For the longsword, you have Extermination's Edge. As for the hammer, you have Obliteration's Footfall. For the light bowgun, you have Cataclysm's Trigger. And for the heavy bowgun, you have Destruction's Fusillade. On to the bow, you have the Doom's Shaft. For the dual blades, you have the Decimation Claws. For the lance, you have the Perdition's Hand. For the charge blade, you have the Devastation's Thorns. And for the gunlance, you have the Eradication Flame. Next, we move on to Nergigante weapons for stats. So just like the other Elder Dragons, Nergigante weapons start at grade 6. Their element is Dragon, with their base raw attack at 551, and the base elemental attack at 238. Its base affinity is 0%, and as you upgrade the Nergigante weapons to max, the raw attack will overtake the elemental attack. And now we have the cost for the Nergigante weapons. You need 8 Immortal Dragon Scales, which are rarity 1, 4 Elder Dragon Bloods, which are rarity 4, 2 Nergigante Tails, which are rarity 5, and the ever so needed 1 Weapon Refining Parts, which are rarity 3. In addition, you need to pay up 3,000 Zenny. And now that we covered the forge costs, now how about when you get them to grade 10.5 max? Well, here we're covering the Nergigante weapons grade 10.5 max stats. Its element is Dragon, its max raw attack is 1,861, with its max elemental attack being 1,210, with its max affinity staying at 0%. And once you max them out, the Nergigante weapons max raw attack will overtake the max elemental attack, which is 651 points higher. And this brings us for the Nergigante weapons grade 10.5 max cost. And as you see here, Nergigante has its own rarity 6 material, the Nergigante Great Horn. The Nergigante weapons also require a high number of materials to max it out. 48 rarity 6s, not as much as the Wyvern Gem Shards, as far as other grade 10.5 weapon goes, is still a lot, especially since they come from EDIs. In addition, you will need 25 weapon refining parts and 420,000 Zenny. That's a very nice number, by the way. From personal experience, assuming you are doubling your rarity 6 materials, you can achieve this result in 100 to 150 Nergigante Elder Dragon interceptions, or earlier if you are lucky. So it's a lot. As someone with an actual grade 10.5 Elder Dragon weapon, the most powerful ice bow in the game, Kushala Bow, it took a lot. So if you're willing to invest the resources and the time, hopefully you get lucky and get all of the high rarity materials early. And now the data most of you have been waiting for, we move on to damage comparisons, starting off with melee. Here's the Dragon Elemental monster types, and we have all of the Dragon Elemental monster types as of the Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya. And as we see per the data, Nergigante weapons are the strongest. However, Nergigante weapons barely beat Deviljho weapons, being only about 6% stronger, or 5.50% to be exact. It's also important to note that the Deviljho weapons have their own unique equipment skill at grade 8. So with their unique equipment skill, they have the potential to take over with the skill for Nergigante, but we're going to dive more of that in a bit. And if you haven't noticed, don't invest in the Lunar New Year weapons. They look cool, but they really aren't worth it. Speaking of worth, remember those equipment skills I was talking about? Well, we have the Nergigante weapon equipment skills versus the rest of the Dragon Elemental weapons. Now the thing is, Nergigante weapons have Part Breaker level 2 and Hunter's Unity, with Part Breaker level 2 being the sweet spot for breaking monster parts. Deviljho weapons on the other hand have their own unique equipment skill that can be better than what Nergigante weapons offer. And the Lunar New Year skill isn't worth it. If you built them, well, you did it already, but they really aren't because offense takes priority over defense in Monster Hunter Now. That's the way it is. And Nergigante weapons can give you more part breaks and stunts. But make sure you take a look at the Devil Joe weapons you use to determine if you want to go after Nergigante. So Devil Joe weapons can be better than Nergigante as far as sheer damage goes, but it just really depends at what the equipment skill is. Next up, we have the Dragon Elemental Monster Type Light Bowgun comparison. So here we take a look at all the Dragon Elemental monster types of light bowguns as of Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya. And as we see per the data, Devil Joe Light Bowgun is barely stronger than the Nergigante Light Bowgun, or 0.37% stronger to be exact, when you take reload speed and recoil down level 3 into account. So put those all in together and you have this really weird result. And it's interesting because Nergigante Light Bowgun actually has spread ammo and Devil Joe Light Bowgun does not. Usually the spread damage ones do more damage than the ones that don't. And since we're talking about ammo, well, here's the Nergigante Light Bowgun Ammo versus the rest, which is just Devil Joe. But if we take a look, the Nergigante Light Bowgun Ammo set is interesting because you have spread and sticky dragon ammo, which is a pretty good combination. Despite that, per the data, the slicing and sticky dragon ammo combo from Devil Joe is a tiny bit stronger. However, it is important to note that the Nergigante Light Bowgun does have one more sticky ammo, giving it more stun potential versus Devil Joe. So you also don't have to reposition from using slicing ammo like Devil Joe, because what happens is when you start using slicing ammo, you have to go ahead and veer or aim towards the head after. For Nergigante, you don't have to do that, because you just have to stay in front of the monster, unload your spread ammo, and then fire your sticky ammo. And now that we're done with the light bowgun, we have the heavy bowgun. And here we have the Dragon Elemental Monster Types Heavy Bowgun comparison for the damage. And here we're going to take a look at all of the Dragon Elemental Monster Types of Heavy Bowguns as of Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya. And as we see here per the data, Nergigante Heavy Bowgun is barely stronger than Devil Joe Heavy Bowgun. In fact, it's 5.18% stronger to be exact when you take reload speed and recoil down level 3 into account. And this is really interesting because both heavy bowguns have similar ammo sets. And now that brings us to the Nergigante Heavy Bowgun Ammo Set versus the rest. So Nergigante's Heavy Bowgun set is interesting because it only has 2 sets of ammo. You only have spread dragon ammo and sticky dragon ammo, so you're going to be able to cycle through both very quickly. Per the data, Nergigante's Heavy Bowgun's 2 ammo sets does more damage than Devil Joe. So usually this is what happens when you only have the 2 ammo to cycle through. It does more damage than the rest, usually. In fact, the only difference between the Nergigante and Devil Joe ammo sets is that Devil Joe has Wyvern Dragon ammo and Nergigante does not. And now this moves us on to the weapon type where everyone's like, ooh, so here we have the Dragon Elemental Monster Type Bow comparison. And here we take a look at all the Dragon Elemental Monster Types of bow as of Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya. And as we see per the data, the Nergigante bow is the strongest, but only by a tiny bit versus the Gold Rothian bow, another brand new bow. And both Nergigante bow and Gold Rothian bow have a charge level 3 to damage level 4 special ammo type, making both qualify as super weapons. This mechanic alone makes it a super weapon, and super weapons are incredibly strong. And as you see here, they really are incredibly powerful. In fact, Devil Joe bow is okay, as you see per the data, but it's not worth building along with the Pink Rothian bow. Losing by 20% is humongous, and unfortunately, this makes it to where Devil Joe and Pink Rothian are not worth it. And now we move on to the Nergigante Bow Ammo Set versus the rest, so we're going to dive even more into the ammo types. As we see here, Nergigante Bow Ammo Set has Pierce level 4 at charge level 3, which is 2 blinks. And per the data, like we saw before, Nergigante's Pierce level 4 beats out Gold Rothian's Spread level 4, but by less than 1%. And I will do a deep dive on the Nergigante bow and the Gold Rothian bow in another video, but generally Nergigante is better. So I could go longer, but we're looking at all the weapons here, not just the bows. So again, I'm going to do a video on the super weapons some other time. While Devil Joe and Pink Rothian are huge losers without a damage level 4 and charge level 3 special ammo type. Next, we're going to cover the Dragon Charge Blade Phials comparison. So here we compare the Charge Blade Phials of Dragon Monster types as of Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya. In Nergigante's Charge Blade Phials are impact, so damage-wise it doesn't have as much potential as Deviljho. The thing is, Phial damage ignores affinity, so Deviljho's Charge Blade Power Elemental Phials are strong. I get it, Phials a main series, but if we're talking about damage here and you like damage, Deviljho Charge Blade does take the cake. However, it's important to note, Nergigante's Charge Blade Impact Phials with Park Breaker level 2 is a powerful stun combination. So you can break parts, you're going to get more rewards, and at the same time, you are able to have this dual stun ability with Impact Phials as well as the ability to break parts faster. And last but not least, we have the Dragon Gunlance Shelling type comparison. So here we compare the Gunlance Shelling types of Dragon Monster types as of Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya. And Nergigante's Gunlance Wide Shelling type unfortunately isn't the best. At the same time, Deviljho Gunlance just flat out wins because it has Artillery level 1 at grade 8. Artillery is the best skill for Gunlance, so Deviljho takes the cake as the best current Dragon Gunlance in the game right now. The only way as of right now currently to get to Artillery level 5 is with the Deviljho Gunlance. That makes it incredibly powerful and totally worth it, and unfortunately, as good as Nergigante is, as far as pure damage wise, it just can't compare to the Deviljho Gunlance for the mere fact it has this equipment skill.
Away, Chaos Max Dragon's attack point! You really hate dragons, don't you?
You know, Kaiba has a point. We technically really do hate dragons because all monsters in Monster Hunter are based off of dragon wyverns, so yeah, we kind of really do hate dragons. Speaking of dragons though, here's the overall analysis on the Nergigante weapons. Nergigante weapons are totally worth building if you're willing to go after them. They're dragon elemental weapons and they're the most powerful ones. However, Elder Dragon weapons are extremely expensive and time consuming to build and max out. Nergigante though is probably the exception to the expensive portion, as you have the opportunity to hunt it in either Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya and Global, or if you're lucky like me, both ticketed events. And both events have unlimited Elder Dragon interceptions if you can buy and participate in them. Normally it's 300 gems a pop for a ticket for Ultra Hunting tickets to participate in EDIs. So that saves you a whole lot of money if you do a bunch of Nergigantes during Shibuya, Global, and or both. Also take into consideration Deviljho weapon types and their exclusive equipment skills. So while Nergigante technically is the most powerful dragon elemental type overall in the game, it honestly depends which weapon type it is. Most weapon types, Nergigante wins. But make sure you take a look and look into them to see whether or not Deviljho weapons are more powerful than Nergigante. We went over most of them here, so you should already know which one is you're going after or which one's better than the other. Hopefully this guide helps you decide what Nergigante weapon you want to build. Monster Hunter Now Carnival Shibuya was absolutely amazing, and if you couldn't go to Japan, you could still hunt Nergigante in the Monster Hunter Now Global event. The great thing, and I keep mentioning this, is that we have the global event even though you couldn't go to Japan like me. It was really cool. Check out all the blog stuff and everything I'm going to put at the end of this video if you're really interested in how it was. I'm so happy I went. But this is my 9th live Niantic event. I've been at 8 of them before, and still they're killing it. But yes, we didn't have a global event when GoFest Chicago came out for the first or second time. In fact, we didn't have a GoFest live event, the equivalent for Monster Hunter Now, until COVID. So until COVID happened, and then after that, we didn't have a global event for Pokemon Go. For Monster Hunter Now, right off the bat, your first event, there's a global portion to it, so hopefully y'all are going to enjoy that. Please do me a huge favor, like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Go look on your grinds, go look on all your Nergigante drops, because you're going to need all that luck if you want to max out the Nergigante weapons, and I will see y'all on the next video.